Okay, cool. So I guess you just hit okay. Hello! Hi. Welcome to King's Quest. I'm playing for my brother Joe. He's actually in command. Joe, just hit play, I guess? Cool. Hit play, Joe. Alright. Chapter 1? Yeah, but we're doing Chapter 1. I mean, we watched Game Grumps do Chapter 1, but we're gonna play our own.
Let's do it. The opposite of what they did.
We can try. Oh shit, that's loud. Alright. Oh gosh, look how fucking beautiful this game is.
It looks even better now than it did when they were...
Well, that's because we're watching it actually on our screen as opposed to watching a recording. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh.
Go towards the
Look at
well.
this.
What?
This is like the most weird thing. This is the one game I've ever seen where holding shift makes you walk slower.
Huh. That's weird. Weird mechanic.
I feel like that was something nobody noticed.
Well, because why would you want to walk slower on purpose? Unless you're doing like a stealth game. And even then, no one really likes to do things slow.
For,
Joe, go towards the well.
I'm saying for, control. For,
What
I'm saying for, micro maneuvers, in case you want.
Yeah,
fine-tune control.
but a lot
That's
of
where you can hold
people
shift.
probably don't want that, so...
I'm looking at the satchel image on the top, and I'm trying to figure out what do I do for that.
You don't do anything. You go into the well.
I understand this.
Alright, remember, people wanna...
Oh.
Actually, you know what, screw it. Forget that we're recording this, because we're not. I'm deleting this afterwards. Haha, it's not even on. I lied. I didn't even hit the right button. Or did I? No, I didn't.
Spacebar. Spacebar.
Spacebar makes you slap the screen, apparently, according to the icon.
So...
And snapshot.
I can look.
Yep. Look how pretty that well is. Yeah. This happens every time. Sorry, I'm thinking, like, in my head, and then completing the thought out loud. Gotta crank it down. And then this is where we find the trippy, bed cave.
Yes, it is. Here we go.
Something I've realized is that I don't know if everyone does this or if it's just you and me, but I noticed that
I've not been back there in years, but it was the last place left to look.
So this takes place years after the tournament that happens later on. But you know, he looks basically the same age. However, I feel that's mostly just an animation standpoint. It's like, let's not make this more difficult on ourselves.
Those lost wishes weren't the treasure I was after.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I would take like a few. I mean, you know, you could at least donate it if you don't want to keep it for yourself. But then again, you want to be spry, and that would weigh you down. He's about to fight a dragon, so. I'm not gonna lie, every time I look at these mattresses, whenever I watch like the playthrough of this game or in our own game, all I can think is like how horribly scummy they must be. Like old mattresses, like even if like nothing sexual was done on them, and let's face it, there's so many mattresses down here, at least one of them someone had sex on. Like just like sweat and body lice and just all that shit, you know, over the years.
You're ruining the mood of the game!
It was not exactly as I remembered it, but it wasn't all that different either.
We're just teasing.
Anyhow, point is, old mattresses are scummy.
Yes, they are. I do agree with that.
That was. No,
I found out you cannot walk off cliff faces.
probably a good thing. No, what I was trying to say earlier, before the mattresses, was that I noticed that when it comes to doing comedy or commentary or whatever, I can just like ramble on my own. But as soon as like I know the recorder is on, and that potentially people are listening, all of a sudden, I don't know, something clicks in my brain, and I automatically feel off my A game.
Two odd contraptions guarded the lost treasure. I would have to turn one and see what happened.
Well, we already know what happens when you pick the wrong one, so just pick the right one, just to make everyone's life easier.
Well, what happens if I just keep going and ignore that?
You find a door that's closed, and you knock on it, and you're like, hello, can I come in? And then someone says, yo man, you're not on the list. And you're like, of course I'm on the list. Deshaun called and said I'd be coming. And then the guy's like, I don't know no Deshaun. Huh. Is it weird that I could have sworn the left one was the correct one? I would have killed us both. And this is why I don't go on adventures in real life.
True story. I'm an Adonis. Oh, it's shaking.
You're a skinny scarecrow, Adonis. Look how
Buckets, barrels, butter churns, and beds were jammed into every nook and cranny of that cave. It all seems so familiar.
I feel like because
This is like the remnants of the town or something.
yeah, I feel like because we've watched the chapter 1 playthrough, that we're gonna see like lots of Easter eggs and stuff that we wouldn't have realized before, like a Chaka's bow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we actually looked at those, we would see like.
Even though the bed was very comfortable, this was no time to hide under the covers.
Congratulations, you now have bed bugs and AIDS just because you touched that bed.
To be fair, AIDS was like not existing back then.
Wait.
And really, no
Hold
one
on,
gets
Grandpa.
AIDS. They start off
I don't
with
remember
HIV.
this part of the story. Beds
Unless you're like a
hanging
baby.
from stalactites.
We'll get there, Gwendolyn. No,
You know, Gwendolyn, maybe let me tell the story? Yeah,
will
yeah.
be overlooked. Now,
Agreed.
where was I?
I have cola all
yes.
over myself.
As I treaded through the river of rumbling trundles, I feared I knew the source of that deafening wind.
Ugh, I know no one can tell, but
That wind was broken.
I went to drink Coca-Cola just now, and I poured it all over my face. And I'm currently sitting here in my wheelie chair in a puddle of my own cola. It is very uncomfortable.
Oh, I see. I actually have to try. I wasn't
Nestled
anticipating that.
beneath a slumbering pile of teeth and claws was...
Fabled mirror.
Oh, so you remember this part of the story.
Well, dragons are my favorite.
You want to tell this part?
You
Yes.
great.
King Edward sent me, the greatest knight in all of Daventry, on a quest to return his stolen mirror. A gigantic, hulking beast of a dragon was the last thing in my way to...
The mirror?
My way, too. Add a shinier hat to my collection.
Ah, yes.
The same.
To quote Ross, A Crown of Daventry. I learned so much about everything I know about Sierra Gaming. I learned from Game Grumps. One day I will walk up to Danny Sexbang, and I will awkwardly stare at him and try to shake his hand, and he won't realize that I'm trying to shake his hand, and it's just gonna be really weird until like Aaron tells me to like go away and to get out of his bathroom. You know, it's gonna be a great story to tell later about how, you know, I was naked in the Game Grumps bathroom, but, you know. Were you trying to spy my wife, Susie?
Volumes of
No!
old books
Trying to spy on Danny.
with foreboding titles clutter the shelves of that strange bedroom. How to Tame a Dragon, Breaking the Spirit of Hideous Beasts, amateur spells to impress your friends with.
Hey.
No books about
That's definitely a reference to
covering
something. I don't know what.
missing handles,
That's definitely a reference. Magic and
It's weird. It's giving me like almost
sex spells for beginners.
It's giving me almost like an option to do something because it has like the crosshair here. But
No,
I feel like
this
there's nothing
is just
I
a
can
first-person point of view. It's just, I mean, because remember, eventually you get to shoot things with a bow and arrow. I think right now this is just first-person point of view. Don't pull on it.
No, I'm gonna take it.
Don't do it.
So, the missing handle was booby-trapped? What did you do?
I use stealth.
I do what I
use
want.
my cleverness to outsmart the trap.
I love the voice acting in this game. It really is beautiful.
Then I use my cleverness to hide.
Underneath the moldy, disgusting bed sheets.
No one cares.
Ow! That hurts my feelings, man. Now I'm hurt on the inside. Bearded
Oh, I
dragon.
meant about the disgustingness in terms of like, you know, like no one
No,
cares. It's
the
only
damage
gross.
is done. The damage is done.
Oh no!
I'm now gonna be a social shut-in for years.
What have
Until
I
I
done?
find an abusive Italian girlfriend to
Luckily,
take
the
me out.
half-blinded beast never noticed me in bed.
abusive
Mine must
abusive
be
Puerto Ricans
really
more
hard to
likely.
pierce with
Oh,
archery
very true.
lessons? I can barely hit
Because-
a hay bale.
It is
Because no one else
indeed
I know, because we
a
don't know any
field
other types of
for
women
skilled archers.
I mean, I'm an abusive types.
other than abusive Italian or Puerto Rican. There's no. We don't
gosh.
know. I'm trying to think if we actually know anyone else.
My first girlfriend was a very controlling German Italian, and my second whatever was a very controlling
Oh,
Puerto
that's something.
Rican.
That's something. That's something else. That's something else other than like
tried
what
to
I just
turn
said.
that
So we-
crazy
so-
So we are
contraption,
divers.
but it was missing
Not really.
a
She was
handle.
mostly- she was
Someone
mostly
tampered with it, creating some
Either way.
silly conundrum.
I bet I have to go into my satchel. If only I knew how to do that. Maybe it's I for inventory.
Well, you're in a cutscene, Joe.
Someone tampered with it, creating some silly
just do this?
I did.
conundrum.
Okay. Tab.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Switch.
I couldn't figure it out.
It was tab, Joe. It was tab all along.
I never knew.
You'd have known that if you'd paid attention in video game school, which is a TV show I have never watched, but apparently I should. Or video game high school or whatever.
Oh, that was like a quiet.
Wait, pause. Everyone stop what you're doing. It's time for next time on whatever the hell we're calling this show.
The dragon's chains
shit. Okay, wait, I have to wait for this
coiled
to be
around a
over, 'cause someone didn't stop
gigantic switch
playing.
mounted to the cave wall.
Okay, bye.